If you had only one life to live, how would you choose to spend it? This is a question that echoes through the ages, challenging every human heart. For Vincent de Paul, the answer was shaped by hardship, transformation, and a relentless drive to serve others. His story unfolds not as a tale of comfort or prestige, but as a testament to the power of compassion and the enduring impact of a life devoted to charity. Born in 1581 in the small village of Puy in France, Vincent came into the world amid simplicity and struggle. His family were humble farmers, scraping by with little more than hope and hard work. Even as a boy, Vincent dreamed of a better life. The pressures of poverty weighed heavily on him, and he set his sights on the priesthood, not out of a calling to serve, but as a possible path towards security and social advancement. Yet destiny had other plans for Vincent. At the age of 24, while traveling by sea, he was captured by pirates and sold into slavery in North Africa. For 2 long years, he endured hardship and indignity, serving a succession of masters. It was a time of suffering and soul-searching. Instead of breaking his spirit, these trials awakened in Vincent a profound empathy for those who were powerless and oppressed. He began to see the world through the eyes of the poor and the forgotten. After gaining his freedom, Vincent returned to France forever changed. The easy ambitions of his youth fell away, replaced by a burning desire to help those in need. He saw poverty not as a distant reality, but as a daily struggle in the lives of countless men, women, and children. He observed how hunger, illness, and abandonment ravaged families, and he resolved to do more than simply offer words of comfort. Vincent's compassion became action. In 1617, he founded the Confraternities of Charity, groups of lay people, mostly women, who visited and cared for the sick and the poor in their communities. This was revolutionary for its time. Instead of leaving charity to the clergy or the wealthy, Vincent empowered ordinary people to become agents of change. He inspired them to see Christ in the faces of the poor and to respond with practical love. But Vincent's vision did not stop there. He saw that charity required organization, persistence, and a willingness to innovate. In 1633, along with Louise de Marillac, he established the Daughters of Charity, a congregation of women who dedicated their lives to serving the poorest of the poor. Unlike traditional nuns, the Daughters of Charity did not live cloistered lives. Instead, they moved among the people, providing food, care, and dignity to those society had overlooked: the sick, the orphaned, and the destitute. Under Vincent's guidance, these sisters became a lifeline for thousands. They opened hospitals, cared for abandoned infants, and brought relief to prisoners and galley slaves. They visited homes where disease and hunger were daily realities, offering not only aid, but also hope. Vincent's model of charity was practical, hands-on, and deeply personal. He believed that true service meant meeting people where they were, listening, understanding, and responding to their unique needs. Vincent de Paul was not content to simply alleviate suffering. He sought to address its root causes. He advocated for systemic change, urging the powerful to use their influence for the good of the vulnerable. He established seminaries to better train priests, believing that a compassionate and educated clergy could transform entire communities. He encouraged the wealthy to share their resources, not as an act of pity, but as a duty of justice and love. Throughout his life, Vincent faced obstacles, criticism, and disappointment. Yet his commitment never wavered. He became known throughout France as the Father of the Poor, a title he embraced not with pride, but with humility. For Vincent, charity was not about recognition or reward. It was about responding to the call of conscience and the promptings of faith. Vincent de Paul's legacy endures to this day. The communities he founded continue to serve millions worldwide, and his teachings inspire countless others to dedicate themselves to the service of others. He showed that true wealth is not measured by money or status, but by the capacity to love and to give. In his life, we see the transformative power of generosity, the way it not only uplifts those in need, but also brings meaning and purpose to the giver. Each of us, regardless of our circumstances, can follow in Vincent's footsteps. The world is filled with opportunities to be a little Vincent, to bring light where there is darkness, to offer comfort where there is pain, to share even a small portion of what we have with those who have less. Sometimes, the greatest gift we can offer is simply our presence. To listen to someone's story, to offer encouragement, or to pray for those who are suffering. Charity begins not in grand gestures, but in the quiet choices we make each day. It starts when we open our hearts to the needs around us, when we choose empathy over indifference, and when we recognize that every person, no matter how poor or broken, is deserving of love and respect. Vincent de Paul's life reminds us that compassion is not a luxury. It is an imperative, a duty that calls us to action. As you reflect on your own journey, consider the example of this humble French priest who became an apostle of charity. What gifts do you have to share? Who in your life is waiting for a word of kindness, a helping hand, or a moment of understanding? Perhaps the answer lies closer than you think. Begin right where you are, with small acts of love that over time can change the world. In the end, the measure of our lives will not be found in what we have accumulated, but in how we have loved. Like Vincent de Paul, we have only one life to live. Let us spend it in service, in generosity, and in hope, trusting that every act of kindness, no matter how small, brings us closer to the true meaning of our existence.